This is the creature we call an axolotl, a fascinating amphibian with some unique health challenges. Hello, I'm Sarah, and I'm on a mission to uncover all the secrets that these adorable water dragons have been keeping from us. And one of those secrets pertains to their health issues, or as I like to call them, axolotl ailments. Now, as someone who spent more hours than I like to admit watching these little guys swim around in their tanks, I think I'm qualified to talk about this. So come with me into the underwater world of axolotls and see how we can keep these smiling salamanders happy and healthy. You know, when I first started keeping axolotls, the one thing that always puzzled me was how these seemingly hardy creatures could be so sensitive to their environment. I mean, have you ever tried to keep a fish tank clean? It's a challenge. Now imagine trying to keep an axolotl tank pristine, not a pretty picture. So I'd like to talk about these common health problems that axolotls face. They're the first and often only line of defense against a whole host of issues that can affect these aquatic amphibians. Trust me, that's saying something. How do we spot these problems? Actually, it's like being a detective in your own aquarium. Today, I'm going to compare some of the most common health issues axolotls face: fungal infections and ammonia poisoning. Because as it turns out, not all axolotl problems are created equal. It's like comparing a common cold to pneumonia. They both make you feel awful, but they require very different treatments. I'm going to show you something. Look at this. You may find fungal infections and ammonia poisoning might look similar at first glance. They both cause distress. They both can be fatal if left untreated, but their causes and treatments are quite different. How? Fungal infections often appear as white, cotton-like growths on the axolotl's body or gills. Think of it like a very unwelcome, very dangerous cotton candy that's decided to make your axolotl its new home. Instead, ammonia poisoning doesn't have such visible signs. It's more like an invisible enemy, causing your axolotl to become lethargic, lose its appetite, or develop red, irritated gills. It's like the axolotl equivalent of living in a room with no ventilation. Not immediately visible, but definitely harmful. But why the difference? Well, it comes down to the root causes and the axolotl's environment. Let me show you. Fungal infections often occur when there's a wound or the water quality isn't quite right. It's like choosing to walk barefoot in a public shower. You're just asking for trouble. While ammonia poisoning is all about water chemistry. It happens when there's too much waste in the water, often due to overfeeding or poor tank maintenance. It's like living in a house where no one ever takes out the trash. Eventually, it's going to cause problems. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of treating these issues. Don't worry, I'll keep the jargon to a minimum. I promise not to throw around words like saprolegnia more than absolutely necessary. Oh wait, I just did. Well, since it's out there, let's learn more. For fungal infections, the go-to treatment is often a salt bath. Yes, you heard that right. We're essentially turning your axolotl into a brined pickle. But don't worry, they can handle it much better than we can. The salt helps to kill the fungus without harming your axolotl. It's like giving your amphibian friend a spa day, except instead of cucumbers on the eyes, we're using salt. For ammonia poisoning, the treatment is all about improving water quality. This means frequent water changes, reducing feeding, and possibly adding beneficial bacteria to help break down waste. It's like giving your axolotl's home a deep clean and a fresh start. But how do these treatments actually work? When we use a salt bath for fungal infections, the salt creates an environment that the fungus can't survive in. It's like when I put salt on my driveway in winter. It makes life impossible for the ice, but my car can still drive over it just fine. For ammonia poisoning, changing the water dilutes the harmful chemicals, while beneficial bacteria help to break down the waste that's causing the problem. When I first started doing this, I felt like I was running a tiny underwater sewage treatment plant. This difference in treatments reflects a broader understanding of axolotl care. How did it develop? Back in the early days of keeping axolotls as pets, we didn't have the luxury of specialized treatments. People often used methods borrowed from fish keeping, which weren't always suitable for these unique amphibians. And sometimes they worked, but often they didn't. Then came more research and understanding. We learned that axolotls have different needs than fish. Anyone remember the days when people thought you could keep axolotls in tropical temperatures? Fun times. I learned that axolotls actually prefer cool water and can suffer in warmer temperatures. Not ideal when you're trying to keep these little guys happy and healthy. Now, with the push towards better axolotl care, enthusiasts and researchers are constantly innovating with new treatments and prevention methods. It's a nod to how far we've come from the days when we treat every aquarium problem the same way, to now, when we have specialized care for these unique creatures. But don't forget the historical context. When I first knew about axolotls, I found that their care has been a journey of trial, error, and occasionally, sadly, lost pets. The early days of axolotl keeping were fraught with misinformation and misunderstanding. They say experience is the best teacher, or maybe they just didn't want their axolotls to suffer from easily preventable issues. The development of specialized axolotl care was a huge leap forward, albeit with its own set of challenges. The growing popularity of axolotls as pets in recent years has led to more research and better understanding of their needs. It's not just about keeping them alive, it's about helping them thrive. Today, we're standing on the shoulders of giants who probably got a bit wet along the way. The advancements in axolotl care have allowed us to dream bigger, to consider breeding programs and conservation efforts. Because if you think keeping a single axolotl healthy is challenging, wait until you try to save an entire species. Spoiler alert. It's actually easier when you have the right knowledge, but let's not get bogged down in details. So, what's the takeaway from all this? Axolotl health problems are more than just inconveniences for pet owners. They're challenges that require understanding, patience, and sometimes a bit of salt. The differences between fungal infections and ammonia poisoning highlight the various approaches we need to take to solve axolotl health problems. Whether it's a salt bath or a water change, what's important is that these treatments keep our axolotls safe and sound. And maybe, just maybe, they let us enjoy these fascinating creatures for years to come without constant worry. Imagine trying to explain to your friends why your pet salamander needs more attention than their dog. But I think after dealing with these health issues, I would be really excited to show off my healthy, happy axolotl and say, look at this amazing creature. Well, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these aquatic health challenges. Have you ever thought about what it takes to keep an axolotl from turning into a very sad salamander? Or maybe you have a favorite axolotl care tip. No judgment here. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of axolotl health, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any amphibian adventures. Big thanks to my patrons for literally making this video happen. If you'd like to support the channel, help me keep exploring the fascinating world of axolotl care. Until next time, keep your water clean and your axolotls happy. And remember, always check your water parameters. Goodbye, and may your axolotls always be smiling.